Hey y'all, it's Lex here. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a freaking minute, but it's all about wellness, healing, spirituality, manifestation for the girls, okay? If you read the title, you already know, but I don't know about you, but I got really tired of attracting emotionally unavailable men who just wanted, a situationship, the relationship benefits, but without the commitment, or narcissistic controlling men, or 50-50 men, or not providers. You get the idea, okay? We all want our dream man. We all deserve our dream man. But here's the kicker, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it, how to get yourself aligned and on the path to finding your soulmate. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so as you all know or may not know, I have been dating my man for 9 months. He's literally perfection, but high value man, freaking provider, like everything that I wrote in my journal literally manifested into him. Like I wrote characteristics list by list and he fits every single one. So I know you're ready to manifest your soulmate too. So it literally, okay, if you're constantly attracting the same type of guy, whether he's like a narcissist or they're emotionally unavailable or they don't want to commit to you, you're not going to want to hear it. I know, but it's you. You're the problem as to why you're not attracting who you want, okay? Now on paper, you might be like, I'm attractive, I'm, confident, I have the job, like, you like have money or, you're successful, you put yourself together well, you're funny, you're this, you're that, and you're still attracting the shitty guys. Well, ladies, listen up, because it's not about that. It's about your nervous system. So we could be doing all the right things or, have our standards set, but then it still is repeating the patterns. It's all about the body and what she's holding within. So your nervous system is like your body's like radar of like safety and survival mode. And a lot of the time this stems from childhood. So whatever you saw your parents, like how they were growing up and like the other influences you had around as adults, that you saw as a child is really going to influence this heavy. And then your relationship that you had with your dad is going to influence this heavy. So whatever you were used to for years, that's what your nervous system is going to deem as safe or okay, or, you survived through it, because your body, your brain, your nervous system are wired for you to survive, not thrive. So if you grew up with a narcissistic dad or a dad who wasn't really around or emotionally unavailable, you were used to that as a kid. So you just survived through that. You got through it and you went through so many years of it, especially the developmental ages of like 7 to 12. And if that's what your like experiences were or whatever they were, that's kind of what you deemed safe, okay, the normal for your nervous system. But of course, we all want more, we all want the better, we all want our dream, and we can have it. But first, you need to know and believe that you deserve it, which that comes in with subconscious rewiring, which we'll get into in a second. And then you have to consistently regulate your nervous system to what you want. So for a while, I had one relationship that was not great. And then the next guy I dated was also not great. He ended up being like a narcissist and super controlling, wanted to change everything about me. I tried to make it work, and then I was like, you know what? No, I am me, I love me, and I'm not doing that. So then I was single for a while. And then I started noticing a pattern, as I worked on myself, I attracted better. So again, it does come from working on yourself and your self-love. But I still wasn't attracting guys who wanted to commit. And so I was looking at my life and I'm like, what the heck? The quality of men improved drastically when I took men off the pedestal and I put me on the pedestal, and I was, hitting the gym, eating right, focusing on my business, my hobbies, just me as a whole, my self-care. But I was like, but why am I still attracting men who won't commit? And it came from within. I didn't truly believed or thought that I deserved that. I thought, okay, well, if they're around, it's enough. Because I was seeking, outward validation from these men when I needed to heal my relationship with myself. And I needed to really pour in and be okay with being alone and know that wow, I'm good. I don't necessarily need a man in that way. I want a man in that way. And when you can truly accept you for you and be authentic you for a while out of the dating realm, it definitely helps a ton. And so what was going on with these guys was I would let them walk over me. So I remember this one guy, I went out to dinner with him. He was great. Then the next time, like, I planned the date because we were like long distance, and I was like, cool. Like, I told him a few days in advance what the plan was, yada yada. He was gonna show up over 2 hours late to the dinner, and I was like, I'm not okay with that. That is not okay. Old me would have been like, oh, whatever, we'll try again, no big deal, you live far. Where new me is like, no, my standards are XYZ. He knew XYZ in advance. It's not okay. I cut things off. So that's another thing. When you have your standards laid out, I would literally take a pen and paper, write down specific characteristics of what you want in a man, and then your standards. And your self-respect has got to be higher than the guy that the guy, like just the dating, the guy that you want, whatever it is. Like, you have to love yourself more. You have to respect yourself more. So didn't see him again because I was like, no, if you don't even respect my time, you don't even know me, like, that's basic human decency. Like, I deserve more than that. So cut him off. Then next few guys, like, they want to just hook up, whatever. And I was like, no, like, I'm not doing that. So as I kept like showing the universe, like, hey, this isn't working, this isn't good enough. Like, yes, these guys are really attractive. They're jacked. They hit their gym bros, which is like what I wanted. Had great jobs, made a shit ton of money. It's like, cool. I was like, kind of like, okay, because the universe was testing me to see if I would still respect myself and who I am. And, those little things that we as women like to brush over. Like, we try to look at more of like, oh, we justify his actions because he's cute or he has money or he did this one nice thing for us. But it's like, that doesn't really outweigh what's really important. And at the end of the day, how someone treats you and makes you feel is the most important. So I went through a lot of that, but I kept trusting the process because I was like, no, my person will come to me, And as I kept rejecting, I started like attracting guys that were more emotionally unavailable. And then I was like, okay, like, what's going on inside for me to be attracting that? Because usually when we're dating, we mirror out what we're dealing with. So I attracted this one guy. We had everything in common. I thought he was going to be like my next boyfriend. Like, we had great dates, great conversation. We were into the same stuff, same perspective on life, all the things, checked a lot of boxes. So I was like, wow, like, I see potential. Ladies, do not chase a man for one. Well, that's we'll get into that in another video, but do not ever chase, because as women, being in our femininity and our feminine energy is just being. We don't chase, we attract, which I know that's corny, but it's the truth. So I was like, in a sense, chasing him. Like, I kept asking him to hang out, and I'm like, no, like, Alexis, like, what am I doing? My man, I wouldn't be working for, he'd be working for me. There's a difference. And like, he didn't want to commit. He wasn't emotionally available. He even flat out told me that. So I was like, what's going on with me? And I was like, I'm not emotionally available. Like, this is like, I am using dating as like a roadblock to like focus on something else instead of what I needed to focus on, which was my business at the time. Like, I didn't have my life together in the sense to want a man that had his life together. So of course I was attracting guys that were in weird positions in their life, which made sense why none of them wanted to commit, because bingo, I was in a weird spot in my life. I wasn't like stable enough to really be in a committed relationship, whether that was like mentally, my mind, and then physically. There was just like, I wasn't really at the job I wanted to be at yet. Like, there was just some things going on. And so I took a step back and I was like, you know what? No, I need to get myself in check. What am I avoiding? And that's usually what it is. Like, we tend to put dating on like this pedestal, and it's like, we need to put ourselves on the pedestal. Like, stop avoiding or, putting things off because you're dating. Like, that's not how we should be. We should be actively living, pursuing ourselves, and then dating will just come along. Okay. And so then here's where the nervous system comes into play. So as I was going through all these trials and tribulations, and as my experience with the men got better and better and better, I was regulating my nervous system every day. Now, what that looks like is you can do EFT tapping, where you go through and tap your 12 meridians and you say affirmations with it. And that's something I also teach in my coaching. We'll get into that. But basically, that's going to help reset your nervous system to the new normal. And you're going to slowly start getting rid of, whatever the bad thing you keep attracting. You're going to start pushing that out, and your nervous system is going to start regulating the new experiences you have and deeming that safe comfortable, normal. So it's important to do it every day. And you can regulate in many different ways. I like the EFT with affirmations because you're associating words and what you want while tapping, and you're adjusting your energy and nervous system that way. But you can do it through a walk, like walking is a form. Like an ice facial is really good. Breath work is great. You know, you can do a certain type of meditation. Just anything to, like, you know, regulate yourself. So that's what I would do every day. Because every day we grow and change, and we have to keep reminding our body, like, no, this is the new, this is the normal, this is good, we like this. So it's like working a muscle at the gym. You have to keep working it to see the progress. Same thing with the nervous system and the brain. And so then, you know, I took a step back because I was like, this isn't working. Like, I need to get myself in a position to where I am ready. I am gonna be at the spot that I want to be to attract my soulmate. So I was like, if I want my dream man to be successful and to be all the things, then I need to be my dream self. Like, you know, actively working every day to become her. Because again, we are her. She's just in another timeline. But, you know, quantum physics, quantum leap. But seriously, like, you have to continuously work to become who you want to be to attract the best. You can't want the dream man but not be your dream self, or be fully accepting of your authenticity. And so this is where, like, the mind work would come in. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind into believing, to knowing, to deserving of what you truly desire. And there's a few different ways you can do that, which I also teach. So you have to rewire your subconscious, because 80% of your life is reflected by your subconscious. So if you truly don't believe you deserve a better guy, you're never going to find him. And then putting that on top of your nervous system being dysregulated or being in fight or flight mode, it's like chaos. Even if it looks like you're doing all the right things, your body is just not there yet. So again, like meditation, listening to sleep tracks at night, fixing your self-talk, mirror work. There's a lot of different ways you can reprogram the mind. But you have to flip the narrative. Like, you have to truly stop talking bad about yourself and stop, like, saying all men suck or I'll never find a man, because those are like commands. You're commanding that to the universe, and you're commanding that to yourself. You attract what you are. And I feel like a lot of times we think, oh, I'm going to attract what I want, but in reality it's all the energy. And if you're here and you want this, you have to rise to the occasion. So now, you know, fast forward, I met my man, which if you guys want a story on him, let me know. But he's literally perfect. Like, we push each other in so many different ways. Like, he's like great, and like couldn't ask for better. And I'm so happy. But like, it took a long time to get there, and I feel like a lot of times we give up or we stay in that negative victim mindset. But guys, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, we got this. But if you need extra help, comment, DM me, whatever. But that's kind of the steps it took for me to find my guy, for me to stop meeting emotionally available men, for me to stop, you know, in that whole rut of like, oh my God, why can't I find the guy? And then like, it all just clicked. It all just worked. Instantly when I met my boyfriend, I was like, wow, he's it. Like, oh my God, like, I don't even know you. And I just knew. So trust yourself, regulate your nervous system, rewire the subconscious, put yourself on the pedestal. You will get there. Okay. That's how you break the cycle. That's how you attract better men. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will be uploading every week, so make sure you come, you know, check out every week. I do my shorts daily. Comment, like, subscribe. You know the drill. We're back better than ever, and it's for the girls.